Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are moving right along and making forward progress on our Noble Bear shield. And the next step is to get into the wooden grain of the shield itself and to give it more depth than what is currently there. There is depth, but it just doesn't look finished, and it's not. So next up is going to be Citadel Catachan Flesh. We're going to use this as the color for making a wash. So we're going to get right into it, and we'll move things so we're in focus. So we're just going to get some paint and lid, and that will be plenty put back so we're not wasting there. All right, and close that up, and we're going to go into the water, and we're going to be very liberal with the amount of water that we are using to make our wash, because we want it to be just that. We don't want pigment to be so much that it just covers everything entirely. We want it to essentially leave the high points lighter and puddle up and pool up in those recessed areas. So we are working on getting that consistency. We are almost there. Just another dip, and let's pull up. I'm waiting to see the consistency so that it just runs down, and there we are. We are there. So just to show again, so where I've touched, it's there, but it's running down. We're letting gravity work, and that's exactly what all these recessed areas in the shield are. We're going to let gravity do its thing. So while I mix this brush up, and this brush would be wonderful, I just do not feel confident that I'm going to be able to get all the areas that I want without over getting too much on. So I'm just going to dip that brush, and I'm going to get out a smaller brush. This one is a 6. The brush that I was using was an 8. So, all right, let's get into this. All right. Again, control is the name of the game. And I'm just going to paint with the grain of the wood and move it down, down, down. And in this instance, I am going to get to that golden outer rim. And look at that. Already we can start to see the details of that sculpt really start to pop. So the fruits of our labor are paying off. All right, and in we go. And going with the grain as much as we can. Got a little bit on that outer lip. Just rub it with my finger, take it off, not a problem. And just for consistency's sake, I'm going to rotate this over, and we're going to get into that right there. Just do all of that, be consistent. Same in here. I got a lot on my brush, so I didn't want to go directly into that small space. I hit that rope, that's okay. Not going to be a problem. Got a little bit on the face of there, the bear. I'm just pulling it off. Again, wash super, super forgiving because of how high the water to paint content ratio is. So if you're getting the wash on the surface that you don't want, just rub it off, either with your finger, Q-tip. I know the Q-tip method is a popular one out there. I myself am that's not my preferred method, because a Q-tip can possibly leave just I don't want to say cotton, but the material that the Q-tip is actually made of. Sometimes you can get little fuzzies in there. I was trying to find a more technical word than fuzzies, but um, you know what I mean, what I'm trying to convey. At least I hope you do. So I will just continue on. I'm going to hit into this recessed area nice and liberally. And then I'm going to go through and pull that out around that gold edge. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull some excess out of my brush. And now I'm going to go back through and just take some paint out. Right there. Anywhere that I feel I went a little heavy, right there on the edge. Right up here at the top. I want it there, but I don't need it to be that much. And if you accidentally take too much, dip back in to your wash and reapply. You can absolutely do that. Not a problem. And we're good on this side. We're there. So we're going to rotate our shield around. And yes, I do. I like to paint the surfaces that can't be seen, or at least, well, the way that this shield is intended to be held by the character who will be holding it. You typically wouldn't see much of this, the backside of this shield, but I like to do the whole entire surface. So again, just pull out and back in, and again, I'm just going with the direction of the grain that's on the front of the shield from the top to bottom motion, sorry. And since I rotated it, now it'll be left to right. And I'm just trying to create that wood grain effect, which here on the back side where it's smooth, it's going to be a little more difficult to do that. But nonetheless, I'm going to at least mimic or imitate that effect. And